I actually look like shit. Probably because I've been on like a 3-day binger, but now if I were to tell you guys that the Ruby reaction channels or just Ruby content creators in general were extremely toxic, do you think you would be any surprised? Because I was actually just like a little bit surprised. I mean, like my expectations for these people are incredibly low, just like myself, but holy shit, do they not only fail to meet them, they also go just a little bit lower. Now, I want to give you guys some backstory, okay? I have filmed this video before, and the thing that I noticed about when I filmed it before was I was not very nice. Um, I was extremely heated. I was very upset because I just didn't like the what I was seeing. You know, coming from a military background, just in general, my general solution for any type of stepping out of line is fuck, 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 fuck. Then we solve it. So I ended up cursing a lot, and I just thought it was a little too much because I don't think that I should be holding these people to the standards of like a rational, socialized adult. You know, I feel like I should probably treat them as more of a wayward child. A couple days ago, there was this incident, and you know, the only reason I found out about it was because me and Ray were talking, and we were talking about Ruby content creation and how we just didn't really feel like we were fitting the demographic, right? Because as I've said before, you know, when you criticize something, it's kind of hard to have your opinion taken seriously unless you're part of the demographic, right? Like, who said it? Who's the piece of shit Hollywood fucking elitist that said? It was Brie Larson who said that she didn't care about the opinions of white men on her movie, and it was like, dude, we're part of the audience, you know. But I mean, I don't really want to sound too fucking sucking my own dick, but I feel like we're more real than most people, and I feel like most people are kind of fake. They're faking how happy they are or excited they are to do or see something. I've never been a super excitable person. Um, Except for like the first time I had sex, I was super excited. But I've never been a really excitable person because I feel like in some ways, just like Ray has said plenty of times, is that it comes off as fake. It comes off as impersonal. It takes so much more effort to be fake. Scripted, intros, outros, you know, bullet pointing your fucking thoughts. I just feel like it is effort and it does show that you're committed to your craft, but it's also just fake and it's deliberately trying to manipulate you, the audience, into feeling like that I have a more constructed idea of what I'm talking about, which I do. I just don't want to fucking I just don't want to assemble it, you know? I want it to fucking be in disarray and I'll fix it later. Despite the audio issues, I'm looking at you, guy that always tells me. It's okay, dude. I love you. You've probably heard me talk about Murder of Birds a couple of times because I think he's a prime example of somebody that fits the demographic, but I also think he's completely fake. I think it's a fake thing. That's just me. Me and Ray disagree on that. Ray seems to think it's authentic, but then he watched one of his videos and then he kind of changed his mind a little bit because he's like, it seems a little too much, you know? So you've heard me talk about it before, so I've done it before. And this is just something that I tend to I gloss over it, right? I see the person and I see that they have success in this. So what I do is I don't try to copy them. I just try to see what sort of thing works for them, and if I have the capacity to do something parallel to that, but not the same. Obviously, I'm not going to make a video about how amazing the plot points in Volume 8 are because I fucking think it sucks. So what I tend to look at is just like the trends, you know. I just want to see how the actual fans react to positive feedback as opposed to negative feedback. So I already had an idea of like there's a few Ruby content creators, and I said it in my last video. I'm pretty sure I mentioned a few of them actually. Is that if you want to watch genuine Ruby content, go to these people because they're far more happy about the show. They're far more willing to overlook all of its issues, and I'm not. So if you like Ruby content, you should go subscribe to them. And for the most part, that's still true. To preface everything that I'm going to say, if you do like Ruby content, these channels are probably more suited to you because all that I do is I shit on it because I don't like it. So I did have a good idea about who I could go to look at the target demographic. That just so happened to be Murder of Birds. So anyway, I ended up perusing Birds of Murder. What is it called? Murder of Birds. I ended up perusing his Twitter, I think. And I saw that he had retweeted something. And I saw the person who retweeted it. And the tweet that he retweeted was, it was TW. I don't know what that means. Please tell me. Unless that face when. That's what I think of is that face when. Or that moment when. But TW, transphobia. Oh, trigger warning. Fuck, I just figured that out. Trigger warning. Okay. So the tweet reads, if you've been subscribed for 5 months, I'm going out on a limb and say you like us. You like Hunter. If you unsubscribe because you find out Hunter is trans, when Hunter has been the same trans person you've liked for 5 months, you're transphobic! Exclamation mark. And under it is the picture of the transphobe in question. Is a guy just called Crow Bronwyn, and he says, "You've lost a subscriber." Now I want you to pay close attention to that particular comment, and I want you to really rack your brain how that translates to transphobia. I really want you to think about that because it's super crucial to the argument here. Transphobia. I'm unsubscribing from you. Transphobia. They don't. So, and then obviously, Calixen, whatever her name is, she comments, here's the attention you've ordered. I'm glad you unsubscribed. Assholes don't belong here, and you don't belong in the RWBY fandom either. Now, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that just because I feel like if he is a toxic asshole, he probably belongs in the RWBY fandom given just your behavior in this particular little instance here. It's kind of the same thing, right? So then Calixen goes on to say, you and Arnold are actually going to make me cry. This person replied to me and said something to the effect of, yeah, I'm an asshole. What are you going to do about it? You're getting blocked everywhere because my friends are awesome. That's what you want. That's what, and then you have Zhao Long, slash RWBY spoilers saying disgusting, checked out his channel, and he's subscribed to us, instant block. So right away, I don't know if you, this to me is an extremely immature just fucking exchange here. So what I ended up doing is the same thing that I always do when I see something that kind of doesn't click in my fucking brain, and I go and look at it, right? I wanted to go see if this guy's comment was still on the video. I wanted to go see what the video was on in particular, and I just kind of wanted to get an idea of, did he actually say anything transphobic? Was he actually saying rude, horrible things to deserve this? Because the thing that Kale here has decided to crop is literally just him saying he's unsubscribing, which in and of itself is just him saying he's unsubscribing. There's no implication there at all. And if you find an implication, it's probably because you're looking for it, right? So I go to the YouTube channel and I find the comment, and it's actually screenshotted it when he was changing his name, because he's changing his name for a particular reason that I'll talk about later. But anyway, the guy says, you've lost a subscriber. Kale says her, goodbye asshole, RWBY fandom doesn't need you. And then Murder of Birds, who happens to be probably the largest RWBY content creator, and also he retweeted this also same tweet. He also comments, saw your shitty comment and did you the favor of banning you from my comment section and streaming live chat. I checked your channel tab and saw that you're subscribed to me, so if you could unsubscribe from my channel as well, that'd be great, or that's be great, because why would anybody ever check their grammar? I don't need or want you there specifically. Good clap back. Really like that. Then Zhao Long is also the person talking about in the tweet. Says, please unsub from us too, asshole. You're blocked by now anyway. There's absolutely no place in our audience for you, so kindly piss off, or whatever. Now, I want you to realize I didn't crop this quite right, because there were about 3 other equally large channels, by which I mean Cal has around 20,000 subscribers. Murder of Birds has around 100. Zhao Long has also around 100. And then a Mercury Black character who just posts stupid fucking RWBY jokes that aren't really funny. He had about 20,000 subscribers. Also posted commenting this guy. And then a third person who has like around 1,500 subscribers commented and said, you're not welcome in my small channel either, which obviously was just, that person trying to promote his channel by chiming in and being like, hey guys, he's not welcome at my channel either, which you can click and subscribe to. You have about 4 or 5 decently sized channels all shitting on this one guy who says that he's unsubscribing. And I combed the comments and replies for anything that this guy could have said. I even looked at other videos. This was like the only comment this guy's made in a while, and it was just, you've lost a subscriber. So maybe I kind of go with what Cal said, that it was probably related to the video. So the video in question is it was about May Marigold, the trans character that has been confirmed and introduced since fucking last year or whatever. And it was basically a trans perspective on the character, which I actually found pretty refreshing. I don't really want to take away from that. As far as I'm concerned, it was a good, decent video about this character. I do fundamentally disagree with Hunter. I agree with Hunter, I should say. She made a very good point about the character should be built up and then have the trans part of the character be not the main focal point of the character, which I completely agree with. And that's what I've been saying from the very beginning, is that if you're going to make a trans character, you can just make the character that is a good character that just so happens to be trans. Don't make the whole identity of the character the trans part. So as far as a critique type deal, the video wasn't too bad. Now, I do want to say that I kind of disagree at some points with what Hunter said, because I don't think I feel like there's too much focus on that aspect of the character. That's just me. I don't think more attention should be brought to it. But again, what I feel like, and I honestly don't know if Hunter would agree with this or not, but I feel like the Rooster Teeth staff actually, or RWBY, shot themselves in the foot with this character, because the day that the character was fully announced was exactly the day that the actress, what's her name? The actress Keaton, or I think that's how you say it. Trans voice actress, also the voice actress for May Marigold. So the first thing that the voice actress does for the character is reveal to the public that the character is trans via Twitter. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I think what that does is that boxes in the character, because no longer is the character May Marigold the huntress of the happy huntresses. Now she is forever referred to as the trans character, and that's just how I even think of the character. I don't think of the name, I think of the trans character, because they didn't give the character a chance to come out as trans or discuss their trans naturally, like organically, you know? They showed it via social media as if to say, hey, check us out. We're being super inclusive. Here's a character for you guys too. And it seemed patronizing, and or it was just a bad move. You shouldn't have revealed that the character was trans. You should have let it happen organically, and it probably wouldn't have been an issue. But either way, I still don't think it's a good character. Again, I just slightly disagree. I don't like the character very much. I find her motives and just overall everything about the character seems a bit forced. It seems strong-handed. It seems almost like it was written with the intention of having some fucking fire behind it because the character is trans, and I just don't like that. So from what I gather, this video, sorry I went on a little tangent there. From what I gather, the video is actually the reveal of Hunter as a trans person. And I don't really see that as a huge significance, but I could see how somebody could possibly interpret it as that. However, Exhibit A, for the fact that the whole crucifixion of this guy is based on the fact that he says he's unsubscribing on a video talking about a trans character. Is that transphobia to just say that you're unsubscribing? Honestly, I think saying you're unsubscribing is just like it's kind of like a cock move, but it's also like, yeah, you lost my business, sir, but who gives a shit, right? It doesn't really matter. I don't take it as anything super negative. It's just unsubscribing. So this is kind of where I differ from all these fucking ginormous people, is that I do not think that this is a transphobic comment. I don't think it's meant to be harmful. I don't think it's an insult to Hunter. I think this is somebody that was following the channel, that wanted to unsubscribe, and they felt like informing you that they were unsubscribing, which, you know, who fucking raw, he unsubscribed. But the reaction that this guy unsubscribing got was so fucking just violent, and it was nothing short of a witch hunt and a brigade. I don't know if you know what brigading is, but it's literally what happened. So as I see this guy's comment and I see all these fucking channels just calling him a piece of shit for saying he's unsubscribing, I decided to go to his channel, and what I found was, of course, many of their fans had already taken to commenting on this guy's channel and insulting him, and I can't find his channel anymore, but I remember yesterday when I was looking at it, the comments had already been deleted, but the most concerning part were there were actual people telling him to kill himself from, obviously, they're not from his fan base because he's got about like 7 subscribers. They're probably from your fan base, and your fan base has been incited to tell someone to kill themselves because they unsubscribed from your content. And I want you to really kind of let that settle in, because that's kind of my main point here, is that I've said in the past that the RWBY fandom is toxic, and I've gotten fucking death threats before, and I've gotten people sending me very, very rude things. But again, I'm an adult, so I really don't care. But it's still the fact that this isn't just random. This isn't spontaneous. You brought this on this guy, and all he said was, I'm unsubscribing. So I'm glad that I waited the next day, because I just saw Cal or whatever had posted an update. And on the update, they have the guy again, and he says, you know, this is probably the first really negative thing this guy has said, and I don't know. I feel like I would probably be a little fucking salty too if a bunch of people have been telling me to kill myself because I'm unsubscribing from a channel, and like these 100,000, 30,000, 40,000 subscriber channels are all calling me a piece of shit to their fans, and then Twitter circle jerking about it and saying, look at how brave we are. We're fighting transphobia, and they're literally just insulting a guy. This is kind of the first thing this guy has said, and what he says is, good, fuck y'all. Yeah, I'll unsub, sure thing. It's no time. It's done. No time for filth like y'all. And this is in regards to Xiao Long, who is another RWBY content creator and apparently part of LGBT who gives a shit, because it doesn't really matter. In the context of your character, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. But he then replies to Murder of Birds. Yeah, you did me a favor. You let me know who's real out of the people I subbed to. Showed me I wasted my time with ya, so gladly unsubbed. Yeah, I'm an asshole, 100%. Anyone else who thinks I should unsub, please let me know. Thank you. I mean, listen, dude. Murder of Birds, 100,000 subscribers, and you're making some petty fucking comment on some dude, and your fans are telling him to kill himself. You're probably the asshole in this situation. I hate to say it. Cal, don't care about getting blocked. It's all about not associating myself with RWBY anymore. I'm glad you still know who it is. So far I've gathered that this guy has unsubscribed because he doesn't want to associate with RWBY content anymore. Or maybe I'll give the off chance that he doesn't like trans people. I don't feel like that is necessarily a hate comment, but I also don't think anything that he said implies that he's hating on them. He just doesn't want to subscribe, so he told you he wasn't going to subscribe. I mean, then Cal once again goes to Twitter to talk about this thing. She screenshotted it. That's actually where I pulled it from, because the dude's account isn't there. I don't know if he deleted it or if they fully deleted his comments, whatever. But she goes, I don't know how much more context you need than on a video where Hunter talks about being trans while praising a trans character, and we shouldn't need to prove ourselves, but this person was scum, like calling Xiao Long, who is in LGBT filth. I don't think calling someone filth is an insult to someone's sexuality. I think it's just calling them filth. It's like if I called you a peasant or pathetic or sad or fucking immature. It has nothing to do with your sexuality. It's me commenting on the fact that you're pathetic and immature. That's what it is. And this person, again, they say I have no regrets. But I want you to realize, and this is more me speaking directly to Cal, Murder of Birds, Zhao, all you other fucking channels. Do you realize that you incited literal mental violence on some random guy just because he said you've lost a subscriber. He didn't say anything really fucked up. He really didn't. And I looked for it. I was trying to find it so that I could somehow justify your behavior in some way. That maybe if he had said, all trans people must die, you're all pieces of shits, praise Hitler, or something fucked up like that, maybe I could understand you guys, showing the community that this is still happening and it's probably bringing awareness towards it. Good. Yeah, okay. He said you lost a subscriber and you posted on Twitter. You all retweeted it. You were all fucking just talking about how amazing you are. And your fans were telling him to kill himself. I want you to burn that into your fucking head because Rooster Teeth and you guys are always you're so fucking caring about mental awareness and how mental health is important until your own fucking fan base is telling someone to kill themselves. Don't you think that makes you a little hypocritical? Or just the fact that you have so much weight, you have so many subscribers, and you're throwing around an immature ass opinion. You are acting like fucking children, okay? You're acting exactly like what I think the target demographic of RWBY is, which is emotionally stunted 12-year-olds. That's what you're behaving like. And I want you to realize that. And even your fans commenting on this Twitter post, what did they say? They said, you're right, you're doing right, but pay attention. So you're doing right by just outing this person on social media, which is great, awesome. I think that's shit. Obviously, no good grammar. Why? Why does it matter? Gonna make a lot of accounts to attack you again. To attack you again. By saying you've lost a subscriber. If that is an attack to you, you are mentally just so immature that I think you couldn't even handle having someone with a different opinion really approach you. Now, I want you to realize that your video was fine. I didn't take offense to it, and I enjoyed the perspective of an actual trans person on the character. It doesn't mean I think the character is good. I still don't. But I do agree with what some of the stuff that Hunter said. However, your reaction to a single comment was so blown out of proportion and just horribly handled. Murder of Birds specifically. You have this cheerful fucking demeanor, and all of a sudden, you're just fucking unloading on this guy, and that's not brave. That's not amazing. You're not doing anything special. You are insulting somebody and setting your fans on them like it makes you a fucking superior human being when it doesn't, okay? If the guy had said some serious shit, if he had said actual hate comments, transphobia, homophobia, he called somebody filth. I know a 14-year-old that calls people filth all the time. It has nothing to do with their sexual preferences, okay? It could just mean he doesn't like your content, you're filth. Hurrah, there you go. Or maybe the fact that you reacted so violently to his comment actually made him kind of hate you. So yeah, maybe you did have an actual fan, and then he just decided that he didn't want to be a part of this community anymore because it is so fucking hateful. You are the example. You're the example I've been trying to make that the RWBY fandom is toxic. It's the fans, and it's you, the content creators. How is it that I make videos trashing this fucking show, and I'm more mature and not a fucking evil person like you guys? How? How does that make sense? Criticism is not the same as being toxic, okay? Let's say maybe this guy did unsubscribe for whatever reason. How would I have reacted? Okay, if you write I'm unsubscribing on your channel, odds are I'll probably like and pin your comment. Now, in the off chance that maybe I made something controversial, or maybe I actually care about the fans. Maybe I don't have like so many fans that I can afford to lose every single one, which actually happened in the very beginnings of me making YouTube. I would actually ask people whether or not they liked stuff, okay? And maybe someone says, I'm unsubscribing. I don't want this content anymore. All right. Maybe I could ask them, if you don't mind me asking, why are you unsubscribing from my channel? What content did I make that has turned you away? And on the off chance that this person replies and says, you made content about a trans character. I don't like trans people, and I don't really want to watch your content. They are not forced at gunpoint to conform to any beliefs that I have. That is not the way the real world works. In the real world, you can have controversial, horrible fucking opinions, and that's fine. Odds are it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to actually mingle with society if you're unable to like be around people with different skin colors or different sexual preferences, because that's just kind of the way everything is moving towards. If you have a problem with it, the only thing you're going to do is limit your ability to expand, I guess. But it doesn't mean anything bad. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're allowed to believe whatever the hell you want. There are still Christians that believe that you can't be gay and that you're going to go to hell if you masturbate. It doesn't matter. Those people just have more difficulty assimilating into society. Maybe this guy just doesn't like trans people. Okay, what would I do that would potentially maybe help like your cause, right? You have a cause. Maybe we can help it. So this person says I'm unsubscribing because I don't like trans content. Okay. Maybe I could say, well, would you like to maybe talk about it? Maybe I can help you understand the mentality or what happens scientifically, or maybe I can just explain to you why I think it's okay, and we can have a reasonable discussion back and forth. And God fucking forbid that you actually try to change someone's perspective with just a discussion, right? No. No, 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 no. You say anything even remotely similar, even anything I can remotely discern as an attack on my person or some other person, then I am going to absolutely brigade you, insult you, parade you all around Twitter. All my friends that are just giant are going to make fun of you. We're all going to retweet you. We all have our little circle jerk where we just talk about how shitty you are. And then our fans are going to tell you to kill yourself. And then we're going to continue to post you on Twitter. And then we're all just going to laugh at you. Because that definitely won't encourage trans hate. Do you see how fucking stupid that is? And I really want to emphasize this point. Do you see how dumb that is? That instead of being mature and just saying, okay, people believe different things, you can go if you want, but if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. That would have been fine. Maybe the dude just didn't fucking like RWBY anymore, okay? This is the exact reason I don't associate with this fandom. This is the exact reason I don't like to consider myself a RWBY content creator, because you guys are absolutely fucking insane. And if you genuinely think your reaction to this was nothing short of immature, unwarranted, fucking sad, then I don't know what to tell you, but you're a petulant child. And you're probably filth too. And I'm not subscribed to any of you, so it really doesn't matter. But I want to fucking emphasize that. Rooster Teeth. Charities for mental health. Suicide prevention. The fans talking to you guys. And you, Mr. Murder of Birds and fucking Calex and all of you fuckers that decided to throw in your two-piece on this fucking thing. You all kind of, you didn't just make a comment. Right? You can make comments and not fucking screen cap them, post them on Twitter, and then retweet them so all of your fucking followers can see. No, 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 no. You didn't just make a comment. You plastered that comment everywhere. And then your legions of fucking weirdo fans told someone to kill themselves because they said they're unsubscribing from you. And then the person commented again and said he just didn't want to associate with RWBY content anymore. I've never been so fucking disappointed in a group. Here's the thing is, I thought all these people had the moral high ground on me. I really did, because they all put on these cheerful, fucking happy personalities and shit. And they're always so fucking ecstatic about everything. I thought they had the moral high ground. I really did. I was like, shit, these are good people. What am I supposed to do? I don't care. These guys can make RWBY content. They're much happier than I am about this, so. But you know what I've never done? Is fucking try and get someone to kill themselves. I've never insulted somebody and then plastered their fucking reaction all over every one of my Facebook or my socials, right? I've never done it. I've never been that fucking petty in my life. And maybe that's just because I was in the army. Maybe that's because I fucking have friends that are trans. Maybe I have friends that are fucking all across the spectrum, right? And I've managed to live my life without fucking butting heads with most of them. Okay? I've had respectful disagreements. I've had I've had a couple of little nitpickies back and forth, but I've never just outright insulted somebody and fucking crucified them for just a passive comment. It wasn't even a fucking mean one. Like I have read meaner comments in my comment section before, and this is just him saying he's unsubscribing. So, what I told everyone before was that if you want to watch Ruby content, go to one of these people. They're probably happier than me. But something I want to reemphasize, and this is more for my audience, or the couple of people that actually watch all my videos all the way through. This happy, fake personality they often put on is not authentic. These people are actually extremely insecure and hateful. And the second they get any sort of power, brigading power or witch hunting power, they immediately exploit it. And, I'll go as far as to say, even if this was an actual hate comment, I don't feel like this kind of response is helpful or productive at all. I feel like if you actually had a genuine hate comment, what you should do is just delete it. And that should be the end of it. You shouldn't put this much effort into something that is genuinely offensive to you. Because obviously, if the guy is a troll, it really doesn't matter. And you giving him publicity is just exactly what they would want. But the dude doesn't seem like a troll to me. And I'm like a professional troll. It just seems like a fucking guy that made a comment and you blew it out of proportion. So now what you've done is you've made him hate you over this because you blew it up. And that's just, again, that's counterproductive, right? If you have a cause that you want you want trans people to be accepted or loved or whatever it is, great. You probably shouldn't spearhead that cause with brigading and hate. And this is just why I tell you that fucking the RWBY fandom is toxic. And the people that you actually end up respecting are just fucking hateful, mean human beings. This is the same thing about Rooster Teeth. They do the same exact thing as these people, which doesn't surprise me because fucking Murder of Birds plays Among Us with the Rooster Teeth staff. You put on a fake happy persona, and then you do some fucking mean shit. And of course you have to make some half-assed apology at some point and be like, I'm really sorry, this isn't what I intended. Bullshit. In the moment you intended it, and most people don't give a fuck about it until they get caught. So, this is probably the first little bit of RWBY drama I've seen. Because most of the time, I just don't give a fuck about what you guys make. I really don't. You can make anything. You can make videos telling me I'm a piece of shit. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't respond like this. I would never respond like this. And given the fact that I'm sure you've gotten your own myriad of hate comments, actual hate comments, and this is the one you decide to highlight. That to me is just weird. But considering all of your videos are super liked and almost never... I can't find any mean comments at all. I think maybe this is the first time you actually experienced anything like that. And it's just... you responded immaturely. What can I say other than I am extremely disappointed in all of these channels? Cal, Murder of Birds, Xiaolong, all of you. This is just completely immature response. So to this guy, Crow Bronwyn, or Irish fan, I'm on the off chance that you actually end up seeing this video. I'm genuinely curious about your intentions about this, and if it was actually that. So if you are actually transphobic or whatever the fuck they're saying, if you want to comment on one of my videos, I'll get in contact with you, and we can actually talk about what reason you had to unsubscribe or whatever these fucking guys wanted to do. I'm genuinely curious, and I swear I don't behave as irrationally as these people do. That's it. That's the video. I've never. It's hard to explain how. I'm just disappointed. That's all that it is. I'm just extremely disappointed in these people, and there's no other way that I can word it. It's It's mind-blowing. This is literally immature as shit. This is what I would expect from like a fucking 16-year-old. And they all did it. All of them together. They did it together. And the RWBY fandom is toxic. Literally an example. Giant creators insulting somebody nonstop. Their fans go tell them to kill themselves. That's all she wrote. I love it. Fucking awesome. You guys are great. Keep up the good work. You definitely deserve everything you have.